Blackman would have been in his orgasmic glory if he could have been have a view through the sunroof of your Mercedes when we're driving back from Atlantic City. Three of us in the back with computers. We're plugged in at a cigarette lighter. We're tapping. What are we doing? Watermarking, coding photos, uploading them from the back of the car on the way back from the show.
Radio show at the same time.
Right. That was guerrilla fucking.
That was guerrilla marketing. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
You're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail? Like I said.
We are back with an ultra popular Iron Rage episode coming your way. Lee Priest, John Romano, and me. Jimmy the Bull was supposed to join us, but guess where he is, John, for a change?
Long Island Expressway. No. The VA.
Emergency room, yes.
Emergency room.
Speaking of Jimmy, I got his new straps.
Oh, he finally sent them to you. Great.
Yeah, I've had a pair before.
I got mine here too.
Well, I like the old ones, but he said people complain because they didn't have this neoprene in there.
Yes.
So order effing little pussies that go to the gym and go, oh, the straps hurt my wrist. They hurt my wrist. They had to put this in there for the. I'm not going to say it. You fucking faggots.
I got mine are in the truck because I take them to the gym with me all the time. Yeah. But you know what? You got to watch the video because to adjust them right. You got to adjust them right. Otherwise, it's complicated. I didn't know.
The only thing I don't like about them, it's a little complicated to actually use them. But once you get going with them, they're pretty good.
I did that the first time I got the first pair, like 6 months ago. I did a video showing how to use them. Jimmy, Lee, you're doing it wrong. Take the video down.
He gets very personal. He gets very insulted. He gets very
particular. They work fine how I had them on. He goes, I don't know. There's a left and a right. I said, Jimmy, they look the same. How's there a left and a right? They like.
How do you send someone a link for a show and then they write, Dave, in hospital emergency room, call you later, and then you ask them what happened and they don't respond to that statement?
Oh, that's like when someone sends me a text and I call them as soon as I get the text and they don't answer. I'm like, you just sent me the text. The phone.
But think about it. Now, see, with Jimmy, the problem is that he goes to the emergency room very frequently. So this could either be like a total Jimmy over-exaggerating, type of situation where he has acid reflux, or he could legitimately have a problem, with him.
I keep telling you, he likes that nurse. There's one nurse there that he's always talking about. It takes such good care of him, and he's like, she's so kind and she's so sweet. You ever hear him talking about it?
There are people that like to go to the hospital. You're right, John. It's like an affliction. Like they need like that. They're yearning for like people to take care of them, and they just go there because they feel comfortable there. You think
Jimmy's got nobody. Jimmy's got nobody to give him a hug. I mean, honestly. He's got
him a hug,
and he's like a puppy. He needs a hug,
I like going to the hospital because I got private health care. When I go to the hospital, I get my own private room. It's like a little hotel stay. You just go in there and you hang out. But the thing with Jimmy is, why doesn't Jimmy date this nurse? She could live
it would be a lot easier, right?
But you'd never have to go to the hospital.
But Lee, Jimmy doesn't do anything the easy way.
No, that's true. Yeah.
No, if you had to go from point A to point B, okay, and you could eliminate point C, D, E, F, and G, Jimmy would take the long way. He would just do it. I mean,
so you're saying if Jimmy was Muhammad, he'll bring the mountain to him?
That's right.
He's one piece at a time, complaining every trip.
Hey, did you see the story? This is breaking news, by the way, and I'll tell you, I don't think it's breaking. Barbie now has brought out the Down syndrome Barbie doll.
I saw that. Someone sent it to me. Oh my God! Right.
But the thing was, when I was 10 years old or 8 or so, I used to play with my sister's Barbie dolls, And one day I left one too close to the heater. Who knew that I made the Down syndrome doll that long ago?
You blew it. You could have made a fortune off of it.
And then I used to, and Ken, this amputee Ken, I used to rip Ken's arms and legs off. I used to have a full amputee Ken years ago. It's like,
There's
ahead of my time.
To be honest with you, I don't think that she's expressing the Down syndrome quite enough for my taste.
Yeah, not at all. Not a bit.
She's looking a little too normal.
They got Barbie with a hearing aid. Don't forget hearing aid, Barbie.
Do they have a trans Barbie yet?
Yeah, well, they're working on it right now.
Build a bear. You know, we can go and build bears. They have you can build a drag queen bear.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I think John, I don't know if you told me this or someone else told me this. Those sex dolls they sell, the real the ones that like look really like almost like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have. They said the most popular one they sell is the chick with dick. You know, one. It's a girl, but it also has a penis too. Like that's the most popular.
The hermaphrodite version. No, I did not. That would be Valentino that told you that.
Maybe it was Valentino who told me that. Yeah. Or maybe Howard Stern said that. I think Howard Stern, because I think they were sponsoring a show for a while, and he was interviewing the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a very popular one."
But it could be for a husband and wife, so they both take a turn.
That's true. It's a possibility.
Well, as I have said on numerous shows in the past, watch out for the sex bots. When the sex robots get perfected, now with AI, with the artificial intelligence and the sex robot, oh my God, forget, you are going to see productivity plummet. When a vortex that like wind in your face plummet, I'm talking about.
Imagine that. Men won't have to listen to women complaining all the time. I'm not sure if I brought this.
I don't even want the AI in mine, John. Can I get mine with no AI in it?
That's the thing. I want mine to be a retard. You know,
well, they might bring
no intelligence. Just follow orders.
Now, this is the thing, though, when it comes to that, because you always have to hear them complaining. I'm not sure if I asked you this question before about women complaining, because we know they do. And from a young age, we've all heard it from your mother. Do you know the pain I went through to have you? Blah, blah, blah. You know the pain. It's like, from a young age, all the way, you hear it all the time. Childbirth is the most painful thing. It's the most painful thing. And I'm thinking to myself, how can it be that painful? I need to ask a woman, or you could ask Amanda, who's had a couple of kids. If it's that painful, why would you have another one? Why would you have two? And this is why
it's the same reason why you keep doing bodybuilding show after bodybuilding show. You forget the pain that you were in.
No, you don't. But no, this is where I got him. I've got him here, Dave. The simple fact is, try fuck your missus in the ass once. It fucking hurts. They don't let you fucking do it again. So what's worse, childbirth or anal sex?
Good question. I've had
you bang her in the ass, they say, you're not doing that, it hurt. And they never fucking let you in there. They'll spit out kids.
I guess the anal is worse then, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
It must be. It must be.
Go. Yeah. That answers your question right there.
They don't let you go back. And the worst thing is too, another little, what's the word John uses? Caveat on this is that that when they say you're the love of my life, my soulmate, you're this, you're that, and you say, can we have anal sex? They go, no, it hurts. You go, but we've never done it. Oh no, when I was with Bob, he tried and it hurt. Oh, you mean the guy that used to abuse you and hit you and that when you're in a relationship, but I'm the love of your life, your soulmate. You won't even let me put the tip in. Shows how much you care about me.
You're funny.
That's true.
Yeah. The problem is no woman on earth that is ever going to see it that way. Oh. So no, it's just doesn't work.
That's why we come back to the robots.
There you go. That's right. There you go.
And Dave, you made a brilliant point. You know, I think the AI could be. You got to be able to program the AI because you don't want it to get too smart. Because then, then you're just going to be artificially arguing with another.
I don't want to argue with anyone.
Exactly, nothing. I want the guys are going to want total compliance and fantasy and all that. And if they get it,
hold on, John. There's probably some group of people that will want to be like tortured by them because you know how like they have these guys that like to be like high heels stepped on their penis and stuff like that.
Whatever your flavor, What I'm saying is if you have one of these devices in your closet, okay, and you can use it whenever you want, that first of all, there's going to be a whole faction of men who are going to say, "Fine, what do I need a girlfriend for? This is a pain in the ass. I gotta just have this."
I just want them to. Can they clean the house too?
Well, when they start doing that, I mean, right now,
make sure they don't have any like built-in phone capabilities or stuff, because you know when you want to have that little beat 'em up, rapey fantasy, you don't want them calling the cops. AI puts husband in jail for raping robot.
Lee Reese goes to jail for beating up beating up a sex robot. Yeah.
I don't ever contemplate that violent end of the sexual encounter, so I have to defer to Lee for that. But you know, but I'm just talking about general. There's a faction of men in this country, a large one, I will bet you, if they'd be honest about it, that if they could flip a standby switch and put that thing in the closet and take it out whenever they wanted, and they would be taking it out of the closet quite often.
You know what the problem is? By the time these sex robots come out, there's going to be no men left in this country. They're all going to be
that could be a good way to sell more electric cars, and it has a plug-in unit that charges your car.
There you go. You're right. That's true.
Sex robot can sit in your. It
should come with the car. I got news.
It should, because then it for the HOV lane. So you got the passenger, you know, and she's recharging while you're. It's a dual purpose HOV lane. You know,
she can drive the car too while she's doing it.
The car drives itself.
Where the center console opens up, you know, where you put your wallet and stuff. Just like a nice female hand comes out and gives you a hand job while you're driving along, and then goes back into the center console.
But the car drives itself. You can just go in the back and do whatever you want. Yeah,
that's true.
That'd be funny explaining when you're crashing and you're in the back with the robot.
Yeah. But John's right. The car drives themselves nowadays. We don't have to even worry about that.
The thing is that technology is getting, if not at a point right now where the most wild ideas can become, you know, reality. And human beings have demonstrated time and time again that there is no limit to the wildness of their ideas. And so be on the lookout for some crazy shit happening.
The one problem I see is that the cleaning the unit, John, after you're done, you know, with the act,
high pressure washer.
Imagine the money the guy's going to make who invents the self-cleaning mechanism. They stuff.
That's right. There's got to be like a disposable, like something like liner in there or something
It'd just be like one of those electric razors that you sit in that thing that washes and it squirts all the stuff in it. You just sit your goal on this thing.
Water and electronics don't usually go too well together. That's the problem.
It'd be all soft in there. It'd be all waterproof and water resistant.
Come up with some kind of system that, you know, while you're recharging, it's also
that's an cleaning litter box for the cats, right?
Dyson can work on the cooch cleaner.
But imagine if you could integrate all of these technologies. The sex robot that does housework, that cooks, that goes, orders the food online and gets the groceries delivered and manages your whole household, and then you cannot tell me with what rages in among certain males these days that such an arrangement wouldn't be really attractive. I mean, I know two guys right off the top of my head right now.
Control 101, John, right there.
What's that?
They're worried about population control. There's your answer.
There's your answer right there.
Be like the Stepford Wives. Did you see? I was on the news here a couple of days ago. I forget who it was. One of the guys from Disney. He showed something where he reckons in 5 years' time, if they wanted, they won't even need actors due to AI and how they can do and make people look like they're talking. He goes, with 5 years, he goes, we could make a whole movie with famous people and not even have them there.
That's pretty wild, actually. Which would be good. You could have like actors, like you can have Stallone, like when he's young, you know, and Arnold when they're young again, doing movies.
Did you see the Joe Rogan show they did on it with AI, with ChatGPT?
No.
It even said that it sounded just like him. Everything. He says, "I'm not Joe Rogan. This is not Joe Rogan. Yeah. I'm doing this, AI demonstration," and it was him. You know, it was his podcast.
Well, maybe they're trying to really get that down pat, just in case old buffoon gets in for another 4 years, he won't be able to give a sentence. So they need the
Yeah,
AI.
they can get right. They can get an AI to represent him. It'll probably
Did
be a lot
you
better.
Did you like his ad? His ad for running again? It was beautiful,
No.
wasn't it?
No, I didn't see it.
But Lee, that wasn't an ad. That was his official announcement. He was asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning. He wasn't up to. Could you imagine letting him loose first thing in the morning even with the teleprompter announcing his? They couldn't take a chance.
That was probably an AI. That was an AI generated ad.
Well, that's a good point, Lee. Here's what's going to happen. You open your computer up and watch a video. Okay, or watch the news on a cable network or on your phone or whatever. With AI, how are you ever going to know what's coming out into your eyeballs is the truth, right? Yeah, there he is.
Look at him. It looks like a comedy show.
Like Weekend at Bernie's, it looks like. Remember
everybody's saying that. It's Weekend at Bernie's with him.
He's not alive.
It looks like a movie where someone's trying to play the president.
But it's a comedy though, Lee. It's not even like a real good.
It's one of those airplane movies.
It's a fucking disaster movie.
Yeah, it looks like Leslie Nielsen.
Who's that actor? Kristen. Yeah, Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen. Yep.
Or what's his name? Who was the other guy that was on Lloyd Bridges? A bit like Lloyd Bridges.
Oh, yeah, he looks like Lloyd Bridges. You're right, Lee. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
He looks a lot
like.
The
other problem is Lloyd Bridges and Leslie Nielsen. They were both fucking smart. This one's not. he's the Down syndrome Leslie Nielsen and Lloyd Bridges. Here's a question, though, not being rude or anything, but here's a question I want to know. With DNA and stuff throughout the world, why is it? Like I've lived in America, I've lived in Australia, been places. Why is it the Down syndrome people? Not being rude, but like men and girls, boys and girls, whatever. They almost look like they could be brothers. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. They almost look like identical. Wonder why that is. Because
that trisomy, that extra chromosome causes that look. That's why.
But it's weird though, because you think like being from like America or Australia, different type of parents, but yet they look like they could almost be brothers.
It causes that like Asian looking eye and the bigger nose.
Now you're just being racist. racist. You had to go there.
Right.
He just got
to go there.
All right, forget about it. I'm changing subjects. Did you see this powerlifter girl, 17, 18 years old, who died?
No.
Hold on. Pull this up.
17, 18 died.
17?
Yeah. Terrible. She had some kind of like infection or something. Hold on a second.
Oh, so she didn't die powerlifting?
No. This girl.
She got like a staph infection.
She died?
Yeah, she Laura DeLava, 18, became national champion in her category last September. She died suddenly from a severe infection on Monday afternoon, a friend said.
Like a staph infection?
They're not giving too many details.
I can only see the little picture. From what I can see, as far as powerlifting goes, she looks pretty.
Yeah. She's got tattoos, which I know you like, right? Look at that tattoo on her leg.
You know what it might have been? Maybe the gender reassignment surgery got infected.
That's possible. I don't know, but
Too soon. Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
It's crazy though when you hear about this, like people dying of infections.
Oh yeah, but it's happened a lot though. Some people go to hospitals and the hospitals go, "Oh, it's just a fever." It happened here to a young kid. The parents took him to the hospital twice. "Oh, it's just a fever. Go home, give him Panadol and that." And it was some infection, and he ended up dying at home.
Yeah.
I nearly had my finger amputated because of an infection. I was in school in 5th grade. I said, my finger hurts. And they go, it's a little dirt under the skin. 2 days later, my finger was 3 times the normal size. I had to go to the hospital and have it lanced and drained. And it was terrible.
I don't know why when you said that, it just made me go back to the AI. Imagine if you finger an AI robot and she goes on your finger. I wonder how could you make it stronger and you could get it adapted to.
That sort of lends you to wonder about the nebulous definition of artificial intelligence. I mean, are they actually going to be inventing thought from nothing, or are we going to program them with values and
well, I mean, look at that
shit like
that. Look at that thing that they did on the Rogan show. What is that called again? The GTP? What is it?
ChatGPT. I use that. I'm getting good at it.
Yeah. The problem is that it only is good if things are programmed. In other words, it pulls from the internet, right? So
Right,
I mean,
right.
if there's no information on a topic, it really doesn't give you a good result. You know,
I had it write a motivational thing for me. I said, write a motivational thing for me. And it wrote it. It was like about a lot of stuff I've said about training and this and that. But the reason I call bullshit on it, there wasn't one fucking swear word in the whole thing.
So definitely wasn't from you.
People would be
but you have to tell it. You have to tell it to do it. You have to say
use curses. Yeah.
Use natural language. Common curse words Lee would use.
If somebody read this, they'll be like, well, that's motivational, but it doesn't.
It's unbelievable how granular you can go down to specifics.
It's good for like if you want to get contracts and stuff like Aceto uses it for like his real estate contracts because that's all stuff online that it could pull. He said it writes a better contract than a lawyer can.
Yeah, I use it for blogs. I mean, I still have to edit them and go through them, but I mean, it gives me the first pass. Oh,
John loves shortcuts like that. Forget about
it. Then I just go in and tune it up and send it. It's the best.
Well, why wouldn't you? John can spend more time on his bike then. Why wouldn't
That's
you?
Right. That's right. That's right.
I like that one you put up. Was it a week or two ago where you're sitting down by the river? Looked very peaceful.
Yeah.
I actually built that spot.
Yes.
I love that place that you built. Yeah,
it's
that's
pretty
crazy.
I sort of finished it up over the weekend.
It doesn't flood though when you get a lot of rain, does it?
Well, I actually built that up above where the last big flood was. So there's a spot on the lawn where I was able to pull a string all the way over to cross the river and put a stake in there with a marker on it. And I built it up to that height. So I know that the 1,000-year flood even isn't going to wash that out. So
isn't Mississippi got a rain at the moment or floods in Mississippi or something?
I had to build a whole retaining wall and there was a lot of freaking work there. But
very impressive.
John's building the Hoover Dam in his backyard.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, did you see the Nicolas Cage? He was $6 million in debt. I always wonder how these people were saying because he was lost his mind. He was buying octopuses. Did you hear?
Buying octopuses.
He was buying all kinds of weird exotic like stuff. But he said he went on 60 Minutes and said, "Look, I didn't go bankrupt because I spent $80 on an octopus." He said he goes like he overinvested in real estate. Look at that castle he bought.
I love that.
He owned castles in Germany, England, as well as a mansion in New Orleans. He said, and what happened was the real estate market crashed, so he went $6 million in debt. He said, but he took a bunch of crummy movie roles and he made back all the money, and he actually paid it off. He never filed for bankruptcy.
Which is true because I have that. It's called moviekto.net or something where it puts out movies. And over the last 2 years, there's probably been 4 Nicolas Cage ones that are shit and about 8 Bruce Willis ones. I think Bruce Willis just started churning them out because he knew he was losing his marbles. So,
yeah.
But he's got that new one coming out, that Renfield. Have you seen the preview for it?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I always said he would be a good Dracula.
You're going to be able to create your own AI movies soon with the actors that you want in them, playing the roles that you want, and just create. It'll create exactly a motion picture, a movie of your exact desire based on what you.
What's going to happen though, John? People are going to get sick of the AI and they're going to be like, you know what? We want to go back to grassroots. We want real actors in real settings with real sets and everything like that. And I think it's going to go the opposite direction because I think what's going to happen is it's like the music today.
Only things with AI movies I'm going to do. I'm going to program it, Lee Priest, 10-inch cock, this fat, all these movies I'm going to make $1 million.
At least $1 million.
Yeah.
It's
like because you can watch sometimes movies that I don't know if they do it anymore, but they would get like like a famous star and they would do like a body double for them, like if there's a nude scene.
Yeah.
Like it kind of takes away if you know that like that's not really the actress you're looking at. I think if Lee Priest has like a 10-inch penis and he's like having sex with like Angelina Jolie, it might not be believable, you know?
No, because I'd say, we know that's not Lee. He's 12 in real life.
Yeah, Lee told the AI program to tone it down a little bit.
I don't want to be too muscular and big, it puts people off.
Yeah, it might turn off some people. Anyway, so they got the Masters Olympia lineup has been released.
Yes.
Let me.
I'm still upset though. 40 and over. To me, Masters should be 50 above.
Yeah.
And you haven't competed for at least 2 or 3 years.
How come
$229,000 in prize money?
If I was 100% with this injury and that, I would have. But see that 229,000, 9,000 goes to the Masters, Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, I was going to say there's probably it's all the girls' divisions probably that it's going to. So
I saw what's his name's doing it, making a comeback in it. Josh from Australia. Yeah,
now I was going to ask you about that. Josh Lenardowitz, who's been out of competition for several years now because he had a brain tumor that they removed. Do you know any updates on him? Did you talk to him?
I just follow him on Instagram. He seems to be training good and looking good. So I hope it all goes well and it's a good comeback for him.
I thought he had a really, really great physique when he was competing, and it was a shame that his career was cut short with that brain issue he had. But at least he's alive. I'm glad to hear that he was able to get that removed, and he's fine because he had a family. He's got kids, right?
Yeah, Dave Henry's doing it too. I saw his Dave Henry in there.
I don't know if I saw his name in here.
It's funny because I don't know if I saw his name.
The names that I know: Robert Bernanke, who's a real freak. I didn't know he was.
Freddie
he was
Smalls.
Max Charles, Phil Klahar, Kamal, who's probably the highest rated guy in that lineup. Michael Eli, Vinny Galante, Ken Jackson, Rusty Jeffers making another comeback. Josh, you used to train with Rusty?
Yeah, for a couple of years in Arizona.
He's got the best mustache in all bodybuilding.
Like when I went out to Venice Beach for that induction, was that last year? Yeah. Early last year. He came to that and he still looks great for his age. He was getting ready for was there a World Masters or some Masters Pro back then last year?
I don't know if there was, but.
Yeah, there was. He was getting ready for it. I remember he said. So he still looks great and great poser too, Rusty. So.
Yeah, he's a really good poser. What happened? Did he get rid of that mustache? I see. It looks he's got like a normal mustache again.
When I saw him, he still had it. The handlebar.
This is a great picture. I got to pull this one up. Hold on. Blackman's got to be jealous, John, of this mustache for sure.
The frosting.
The frosting.
I think Blackman should grow a Joe Weider mustache again. I think. In his old age.
Well, he had that 80s porn mustache in the beginning.
You know what popped up the other day somehow? I don't know where it popped up from. Was when I came on dressed as Blackman with that mustache stuck on in the coat and that.
Look at that picture of Rusty from 1991. Holy mackerel! He looks like Rory Liedermeyer.
Rory Liedermeyer, yeah, he does.
Yeah. With the long hair and everything. Holy mackerel!
Rusty must be what, 60? Oh, you have to be in his 60s, isn't he, Rusty?
Or maybe more.
I think he's in his 50s. I think he's around my age. I don't think he's that old. I think he's got to be. How do you deal with it?
I'll be 51 in a couple of months. And when I was training with him, I thought he was a fair bit older than me.
He's still in great shape, though. I think he's better now than when he was competing back in the day.
Yeah.
That picture from 91 looked really good.
He's got the best just standing relaxed pose. Like he knows how to stand. Like some guys,
those old strongmen. If you put on the leotard, the leotard with from the old circus shows and that,
he could be the model for the sand.
Most guys look good when they hit shots. He looks good just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got that perfected.
Like that Frank Zane, that sort of Frank Zane relaxed stance.
Yeah.
Did you see? Here's another thing going back to whatever. But have you seen because I've spent a fortune on my wife from Honey Bardette. You know the Honey Bardette lingerie store?
No.
Look at their new model. Look at their new model. Look it up. People are going mad. And this super hot model's quit the job because they now have a man advertising sexy ladies lingerie.
Come on.
Oh, they got another. They went trans too?
Yeah, but he doesn't even really look like a woman. He's got short hair and he looks sort of muscular. Have a look at the Honey Bardette.
This is a fad that's going to go away. And when it does, people are going to look back on this and look at how many billions of dollars this idiocy cost them. and really lament that fact.
Now, John, I've spent thousands at this store on my wife. Now I've seen this guy in it. I'm hoping for my birthday, my wife goes out and gets me some beautiful, sexy lingerie.
As modeled by the one.
Did you find it? Did you find it, Dave?
I don't know if this is the person. Hold on, let me see.
He's wearing a red. He's got short brown hair and he's got a red thing on.
Oh, no, this can't be it. This looks like a real girl.
Yes, yeah, that's a real girl. Just go Honey Bardette trends or something. It's all in the news yesterday. And that's the proper ones. It won't be in there.
Oh.
Yeah. Go to the latest.
Oh, they're pretty provocative.
Put in Honey Bardette trans model or something. You'll find it.
All right. I'll look. Hold on. Keep talking.
Well, this was the latest. Oh, what about John will know this? Isn't it? Have you been watching it lately? How I saw The View. I can't stand The View, but Officer Tatum puts it on. How they were gloating and going on about Tucker being gone from Fox. Oh my God, it's like
they're throwing a party.
And then Don Lemon is gone from CNN.
No one even knows. No one even cares. You know, it's like most people don't even know who he is anymore. I mean, that's how quick he faded away. So he'll be fine. He'll land on his feet somewhere. So old Tucker Carlson. But one of the things that people aren't looking at with this Carlson thing is the back story of.
You're in lingerie.
There he is. Look at that, John.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this really hot blonde model, she was on one of the news shows and she quit because they gave that guy the job of doing the lingerie. So she goes, "This is ridiculous. You're taking jobs away from women." And what gets me is what woman would look at that and go, "Man, I'm glad he's modeling it," because there isn't really enough trans to really sell to to have him as a model. Come on. It's like
that company can get away with that way easier than Bud Light can, because it's a lingerie company, so they could just say, "Hey, we're being outrageous." Whereas Bud Light drinkers are Bud Light drinkers.
What about Nike? What about Nike putting her in a sports bra? What woman?
Nike can get away with it too, John, because no one cares. There's probably more women who wear Nike than men. So there's not going to be guys that
like I said before.
Where the hell are the feminists?
That's what I said. I said it's so weird because all the things I see on TV when it comes to women's sport, when it comes to the women's advertising like that, more men are upset by it than the women, because women, it's like that Riley Gaines. You speak up about it, you're transphobic, you're anti this, you're anti that. It's like, no, she's not. She's just sticking up for women who these should be women's things. And then he also, that guy too, or Mulvaney, whatever his name is, Dylan, he also got that sponsorship thing with Tampax. Now, come on. You can't say.
And Tampax sent him a bunch of products,
What's he going to do with it?
I guess he used them for
shove it up his rear end. That's what he's going to do with it. All right, let's get back to the Masters Olympia for a second here. So we got a lot of these guys, I don't even know who they are. I see Fred Biggie Smalls is on the list. So he's making a comeback.
But I'm pretty sure I saw something pop up on Instagram this morning, and it said that could have been on that buys and tries page. I'm pretty sure they said Dave Henry's in now. So
that would be great. You'll probably see some guy who we don't even expect to do well who will probably win it or something like that, because someone who won the Masters Nationals at 40 years old, never competed their whole life, fresh looking muscle or something like that.
I still think Victor Martinez could do it and still do very well.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why Victor's not doing it. He should.
He definitely should.
It's actually a pretty weak lineup when you think about it, John, considering the fact that it's only 40 and over. There are guys actively who are competing now who are 40
in the Open.
Doing it. Yeah. Phil Klahar might win it. He's pretty good.
That's why it should be 50 and over. Like I said, if I didn't have any of these
100%
muscle atrophy, if I went back into that like I was at the Universe, look out, Lee's back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can I go half in? Can I just do half my body and go in it?
I think you could do it with the other half and still win it with that lineup.
Yeah. I'm going over and I'm doing what women's divisions do we have? I'm doing it.
I think Kamal's going to be very hard to beat just because he hasn't been out of the sport. He's been competing, consistently. I think Phil Lahar, same thing.
Competing in the open.
Yeah, I'm saying those guys have been competing without stopping. So you're gonna have like guys that are. It's gonna be hard for guys that haven't competed in a bunch of years to come back and then look that great. Especially at that age.
But like you said, that there's so many guys. There's so many guys who are in the Open Olympia though who are over 40 now. So it's crazy they did 40. It should have been higher.
Well, I think they wanted to go higher, and I don't think they got enough people, Lee. I think that's why they lowered the age. They didn't have enough people, entering the show. I would love to see Phil Heath do the show or Kai Green.
Or Dexter Jackson or three other
Dexter's
guys.
got nothing to prove. Dexter's got nothing to prove.
Just pick up another one. I mean, he might as well get one of everything. I mean, he almost does now.
Well, he's won Masters Nationals before, though, John. So he's already got a couple of those.
You got the Open Olympia, have the Masters Olympia, the Open Olympia, have them all.
All of them. And then
he has two Masters Olympia wins.
Oh, does he? That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Victor Martinez could do damage in there. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that could.
Yeah, I think Victor's huge. I don't know why Victor wouldn't do it at this point.
But if they can do like a class for me over 50, half man, half woman, Down syndrome, I'm in.
I saw a really good documentary on Netflix about Bill Russell, who played for the Celtics. Most people don't know very much about Bill Russell. It's a really good. It's like a two-parter. It's like really, really well done. Bill Russell won 11 NBA championships with the Boston Celtics. 11. That's a record. No one in any sports arena has won 11. Championships in their career. I mean, it's just unheard of. Because think about the high level you have to be playing at. And he won the last one as a player coach.
Jordan gets all the attention. He's like, what's up with it?
Well, that a lot of people think Bill Russell, should be considered the greatest because he won the most titles, because being skilled and having statistics is one thing. But Bill Russell always said, I didn't care how many points I scored or how many shots I blocked. I just wanted to win. He goes, that was my goal, win the game. He was one of the best defensive players of all time. And, you know who Jerry West is? Jerry West played for the LA Lakers. Jerry West lost 8 times to the Celtics. They lost the championship 8 times in a row before they finally won. He said, he goes, I'm still bitter to this day. He goes, I can't. And Jerry West has been the general manager over at the Lakers, since he retired, and he's like, I can't get, it's like Casey Viator or Mike Menser, not losing to Arnold. He's like, I can't get past it still. That fucking Celtics just would beat us every single year.
Let it go. I gotta ask something too. I saw it on your Whack Pack show.
What?
Why Johnny Bravo's not coming on because he doesn't like the comments. It's like, he gets comments on his. Yes, he can remove the comments from his page and
which
stuff,
he does.
but still, it's like, Johnny, you just do the show and here's a note. Don't read the bloody comments.
I don't read the comments. I don't read them because I'm too lazy to read them. But to be honest with you, I don't really care anyway.
I go back and forth with them. I let them have it every now and then.
Well, yeah, you and Valentino always go after those people. That Valentino responds to everyone, and but he's the greatest because he doesn't care what anyone thinks about him.
I'm the same. I think it's funny because they just keep going. Like, oh. And it's always the same people though. Oh, these idiots again. They're talking shit. I'm like, that's all right. Yes, but here you are again.
Exactly. Here you are watching this again.
And not only that, but I said it in the other show, is that they help us, our metrics, because we get engagement. So our ratio of views to engagement goes up every time one of these trolls mouths off. So I'm like, bring it. Come on, keep coming.
And each time they post it, like I've seen some of them, they'll take like the show bit and put it on their Facebook page. It'll pop up. That is shit. And then I'm thinking, let's just say 100 of their followers see that. And out of those 100, 70 go, well, this is a pretty good show. The other 30 go, fuck it. You just get more people watching. So it's like,
I'm glad we have them. I appreciate their efforts.
I've always said the haters are the biggest fans deep down.
Yep, they're the biggest fans, exactly. And I'm so grateful that we have them because they really help us.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And at the end of the day, our show is a fun show. You know what I mean? And it's not, no one no one's trying to hurt anyone's feelings. You know, we bust each other's balls, whether it be on here or on after hours. But at the end of the day, it's fun because a lot of people have been asking me, why do you think Nick Trigili lost his channel? And I'm like, I don't know. Because, you know, when you piss off enough people, you know, there's always going to be one crybaby that goes and tells the teacher, right? I mean, we know that. So someone obviously mobilized the troops and probably had a ton of people report his channel. And that's how they cancel you. That's how it works, you know.
It's like you said, I was watching the show, Dave, and Dave's like, Lee swears more than anyone on the show.
Yeah, yeah. I said they didn't cancel our show, then it has nothing to do with curses.
Yeah, but they also look at numbers. They say we have 330,000 subscribers, and you have 7 people who are being retards, you know, complaining. So,
and the thing is too with Nick doesn't even swear. He beeps sort of swearing out. So somebody
thought he was trying to be compliant, but you know what the problem is, Lee? They don't care about that.
Yeah. That
will just demonetize the show if you're too rude. That doesn't cancel your channel. The way your channel gets canceled is because there's some kind of a groundswell and someone organized a cancel this channel. Like, so someone went after him, obviously. He must have pissed someone off.
I'm always thinking, like you said too, they got a letter of something from a lawyer saying, listen, this is damaging to my company. Maybe it was from when he was comparing those 2 energy drinks that he was doing with more plates and dates, where it's saying this is affecting our business, remove the channel because like I said, he hasn't really done anything on it. The red flag, like, you know, like I said, we swear, we say stuff. Here I am talking about Down syndromes and amputees, and
you know what it is, Lee? It has nothing to do with that. It's people like we don't like. I don't give a shit what he does. I mean, I always say I might not like someone or like what they're doing, but I absolutely support 100% their free speech and their ability to do whatever they want. You know, and so I think it was terrible they took his channel away. But you know what? If you piss off enough people and the wrong people who are connected, a lot of times they can cancel you, and that happens.
Now, what happens to all that content?
Gone.
Gone?
Gone.
Oh yes, because when my Instagram went, I had like that.
He lost all his content. Yeah.
Wow.
All your photos on there, everything.
All that work.
Yeah. So if you're using that as a way to you know, chronicle your life, you should probably download everything and get a separate file.
I'm sure he has a drive and has those shows saved.
He probably doesn't. You know what? To be honest with you, I don't have a lot of the stuff saved. I used to save everything, but it takes up a lot of space. Every show is like gigabytes worth of information. I mean, I would need 25 hard drives. You know,
I have stupid. My phone was running out of room, so I, you know, paid $1 something for more space in the cloud.
Right.
So I sent all my photos to the cloud, wedding photos, blah blah blah. I thought, now I'll delete them off my phone. Went to the cloud. They're gone. I went. I get in contact with Apple. They go, no, if you delete it from your phone, it goes from the cloud. I said, why? I said, I thought you put them in the cloud. They stay there. They say, no, they stay on your phone, but they're a really low resolution, so it doesn't take up space. I said, well, no one fucking told me. I just lost 200 wedding photos.
You see, you know what happened? Because with Apple, you can only buy 2 terabytes worth of space.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy any more than that. Why? I have no idea. Why you cannot? If I want to pay for 6 terabytes of space, why would Apple not let me pay for 6 terabytes?
Why do you guys go to the cloud for it? I have a 4 terabyte drive here on my desk.
Little block ones.
Yeah, I have a black.
I want to be able to access everything from my phone, so I have to delete shit. I'm always deleting because I go over the 2 terabytes.
But you know what's wrong with me now is I'm going to have to go out, fucking commit murder, do a crime, just so the police can get into my phone and get all my old shit.
That's right.
Yeah, they'll find it for you.
It's got to be somewhere. Yeah.
Why'd you commit murder? I did my wedding photos.
Anyway, well, you know what?
What were you going to tell us, Dave? You said you had some surprise for us or something.
Yeah. Jimmy's in the emergency room.
Oh,
it's not a surprise. Jeez.
That's like a fucking big.
It's like a normal Wednesday.
It might be seriously because you didn't know about it, and usually Jimmy tells you everything that's going on, so it could be serious.
No, he hasn't. No, normally if it's serious, I get a video where he's filming laying there going, Lee.
No, that's when he's acting, Lee. That's
I'm in the hospital. I don't know what's going on.
No, that means he's acting.
I don't know if I'll be around much longer.
it's either a tooth, a kidney stone, or anxiety. One of the three.
I just want to tell
indigestion.
you.
Indigestion. I meant
brother,
indigestion, not anxiety.
There it goes. It goes into when I came out to California. I had such a great time. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I just want to let you know I love you. Thinking of you all the time.
Or he said,
"You're not going to die yet. You're not going to." Yeah,
he did say he's going to call me later, so I guess he's obviously not on his deathbed yet. So
I send him a text. I'm going back to take the motorcycle out. I was going to, wish you were coming with me. I got another bike you could ride. All you got to do is come down, and then I get a video back. Of he's always, I'm on the fucking expressway. I got to get out of here. I fucking hate this place. It says it's going to kill me.
I said, I bet when it's all said and done, he's going to outlive all of them.
I already said that. I completely said that. 100%. He'll be 100 years old. He'll live to.
Because
he'll be sitting there doing videos. He'll be doing videos by himself. Lee's not here anymore. Dave and John are passed on. It's just me. I got to get out of here. This fucking truck's going to kill me.
I got to kill myself. I got to figure out what the best way to kill myself.
He would be 85 with the oil hose over his shoulder, climbing the fence, stepping in dog shit in the middle of the winter to try to put oil in the tank.
He'll be on some other new show, some new host saying, "But Jimmy, 20 years ago when you used to come on with Dave and John, didn't you say you're going to stop doing this?"
Did you ever see the Seinfeld episode where his parents hire George's parents hire a trainer to get him in shape? And the guy's like 90 years old. He's like 90 years old, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to drive the car behind you. You're going to have to run." The guy literally could barely move. That's going to be Jimmy. 90 years old. He's going to be having to train people.
When did how many years ago did his mom pass away?
Got to be over 5 years now,
right? So it's
at least before I moved, right? Wasn't it before I moved?
I think it was. I think I was.
That's like 7 years.
I think I was still living in Mexico, to be honest with you. So it was like 7 years ago. So it's been that you're saying it's like 20 years. We're saying Jimmy's gonna. Well, it's already been 7. So we're almost at a decade of him saying, "I got to get out of here. There's nothing holding me here. I got to leave. I hate this fucking place." And we're almost at year 10 of that. Yeah. So
I did have a good laugh though when you're showing some of those old whack packs with Derek Anthony and then
oh my God,
everyone almost and then John going off almost looked like I was going to get into a fight.
John almost killed Derek that day. It was crazy.
I was watching you laugh and thinking Dave's going to blow his chest open laughing at that the other day.
There was literally a point during that where I was contemplating just leaping over the desk and then
it was Mr. G going off, and Mr. G had to leave because he was Vinny the Chin.
Vinny the Chin.
Yeah, he wanted to beat up Vinny the Chin. Yeah.
That was funny.
We had some great shows back then. And that was really before YouTube too. So John and I always had this vision of doing a TV show, and but there was no one was doing TV shows. We didn't even know where to start to do a TV show, and we just kind of wung it, and we did it. It was the editing process was brutal initially because we would video on 3 cameras, and we'd have to mesh the videos together and edit it. It would take hours to edit one show.
And was the sound separate from the video too?
Sometimes, Jeff would record sound separately because we had microphones.
I reckon.
And then you would tape a whole show and forget the sound or forget.
Yeah, it was great. It was nuts.
It was crazy. Horrible.
But I reckon, like some of those with Vinny the Chin and all that, I reckon if you put up one of them every 2 weeks, because there's probably thousands of people that have never seen it. If you put one of them up, that'd be funny.
There was a great episode where Vinny the Chin gave a hair. There was a guy, remember Magnus the Magnificent? What do we call him? Magnus the Magnificent. And he was like, his parents were super wealthy. He lived in a very, very wealthy area, but he was like, he was a little off, the guy. And we had him come. He was on the show like every week for like about maybe a year. And Vinny the Chin came in and decided he was going to give him a more modernized haircut. You remember? But we had no scissors. So I had to give him craft scissors I had in the thing. And this guy let him cut his hair. And they were mocking. It was so funny, the episode. I got to find that episode. That was really, really funny. And he let him, and they did a pretty good job cutting his hair. I got to be honest with you.
What you need to do is post one of them like once a month, and then the following week do a "Where Are They Now" and see if you can find them and keep them on.
Yeah, the problem.
Yeah. I just think back to that whole era of the starting the, what we did, the lengths we went to. Remember when at the end, Bleckman was when Weider was giving him so much pushback, he was like, guerrilla marketing. We're going to do guerrilla coverage. And he had the David Paul make videos out of photos. Remember that? We got in trouble for it. We had to explain to Mannion that, no, it's not a video. It's a photo. It's a technique. And then I'm thinking about Bleckman would have been in his orgasmic glory if he could have been like have a view through the sunroof of your Mercedes when we're driving back from Atlantic City. Three of us in the back with computers. We're plugged in at a cigarette lighter. We're tapping. What are we doing? Watermarking, coding photos, uploading them from the back of the car on the way back from the show.
Radio show at the same time.
Right. That was guerrilla fucking.
That was guerrilla marketing.
I used to laugh when I got a call. Was it a couple of times from Steve? I think when you'd been left him now, and I was still there. I was probably did I go after you or before? But whatever it was. Remember, I was under contract and I couldn't do interviews. And Dave's like, I want to interview you. I said, well, I'm under contract. He goes, okay. I said, Dave, just start talking to me. And turn the camera.
Arnold, I interviewed him on the floor. He let me interview him.
I said, just start talking to me, and I'll just like I'm talking to Dave. I didn't know he had the camera on.
Yeah, because you had him down here. It was like an up view.
So mad about that. He was so mad about that. You remember?
And then remember what his retaliate. Then remember what we did was we started talking to Lee's wife, and then we interviewed Lee. We interviewed her, and then his next contract, he had a clause that said your family can't talk to us.
I didn't even know that. Yeah,
family, friends, and training partners couldn't be interviewed.
Did you have to allocate part of your salary to your wife and to your friends and training partners?
So what we should have done was the next interview should have been you with a microphone. Today we got Lee's dog.
And Lee could have voiced over the dog.
I remember showing John. It says Lee's friends, family, training partners. No one.
He's a guy who was very easy to get under his skin because everything bothered him.
So simple.
You're saying that like a year or two ago when I dressed up with him with the wig and mustache, he didn't like it. I thought that was pretty
good. He's very sensitive about all.
He hates impersonations. There was he fired somebody or had somebody fired for. I forgot who it was.
Find that one where I dressed up as and I come on. I'm like, sorry, Elise, I got to do an interview with Romano.
I gotta. Yeah, where is that? When did we do
that? This marketing guy at Twin Lab used to do an impersonation from him. He used to make him furious. And the guy got fired because he would say, I got a new idea. Creatine soap. And he sounded just like Bleckman. And when he said that creatine soap thing, it was like so ridiculous, but it would be like how Bleckman would say,
if you're on your computer,
Viagra,
put in Lee Priest Bleckman on the YouTube. It might come up, wouldn't it?
It might.
I don't think so, unless we watermarked it as that. Did we sell the show using that?
I'm pretty sure it came up because the Batman one comes up and the Joker one always comes up.
Did you tag it, Bleckman? Hashtag?
It depends on if I said he was. I probably didn't.
I did see it not long ago. It came up. I started laughing because his weren't sure how it was coming on. And when I sat down with it on, John started cracking up. Had the stupid mustache with the frosting on.
Oh man, I have so many funny memories of that guy. It's just really.
Now the best memories are when you're sitting at the steakhouse in Columbus and you're about to eat your steak and you get
it's shoulder rub.
Get a massage.
Yeah. How is your steak? You need another steak? You want another steak?
Didn't he? Need another one? Get another two.
Get another steak. Yeah. These guys need to eat,
If you can't find it, I'm going to look for it. I'll send it to you today. But it did come up. It was so funny with the suit on. I look like a cross between a young Weider and Black.
Do you remember when I interviewed Steve Bleckman? after when we were with RxMuscle, you remember I went up to him at the Arnold and interviewed him.
You did?
That last Olympia I was at, remember, he came up and talked to me. He's like, Lee, I really like you and this and that and all that.
Who did he come up to Sue and say no hard feelings? Was it Valentino or he like apologized to somebody?
I think he sort of said that to me as well. That time he came up when I was still with Black Skull, he came over and we took a photo and that. And
he apologized to everybody except us.
Hold on, here, guys, watch this. I'm ending the show on this because I got to go do some stuff with the kids.
What's your shirt you got on there, Dave? What's the King's Crown and the?
Yeah. Oh, it's Anthony Delaventure. He's one of the athletes who helps out with Species. He sent me his shirt.
That's a cool shirt.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Actually,
see if you'll send your buddy John Romano and Lee Priest one.
Oh yeah, he'll send you that. The great thing is I can say it's for D for David. So
yeah, that's true. Right. I can say it's D for Daddy.
I could have
D for
Dick.
All right. All right. Let me play this. All right, ready?
John Bailey, two of my biggest influences in bodybuilding. Steve, good to see you. John, good to see you. I wanted to say, John, you were a huge influence on me in this industry. Well, and I don't think any of us would be here if it wasn't for guys like you, pioneers with Iron Man magazine, and
Fleckman ran away.
That's like one of those. That's like one of those John Stossel coming up behind.
When was that?
Let's see.
I remember that episode. That was number 68 of The Catcher Predator.
Chris Hansen.
That's what it looked like Chris Hansen coming out.
Chris Hansen.
So Steve, what's in that plastic bag? Do you have to bring candy and condoms to visit a child?
I don't
Rope
know
and tape.
I don't know what day it's got to be one of the early Arnold classics that
That look on his face when you come around and open your mouth, he's just like.
I caught him by surprise. He didn't expect me to come up to him.
No, that look in his that uncomfortable look in his eye.
Yeah. The way he just left.
Yeah.
The way he left.
Yep. That was funny.
He was like, "How can I coolly get out of here without looking too?"
No, there's no way to get out that looking cool. Where was he going? He went up on stage somewhere, did he?
Probably going to look at Victor's glutes.
Yeah. He was looking at the TV. Remember, backstage at the Arnold, they used to have remember the TV set back there, and you can watch the show from backstage.
Yeah. He was complaining, "Hey, they don't show the glutes."
Did he go complain to anyone that you went up to him backstage and tried to catch him?
Dave's frozen.
See, Steve's got into the monitor. He froze you there. Dave.
Yeah, he did. Steve froze you.
And again,
now he got no audio.
Sounds like two words. Right.
You have no audio.
No
audio whatsoever.
Every time I watch the sign language, and here's another serious question, like I asked about why do the Down syndromes look like? When the people are doing the sign language, I thought maybe they're talking at the same time so people can lip read. But then I'm watching them and they're just doing stuff like.
Well, the thing, there's expression. The expressions are part of how you like make inflections in your voice.
What it is? I'm thinking it's not lip reading because they're not words when they.
Right, well, because you can't make an inflection with signs. So if you make a face with it, it means like this really hurts, and you go like ow, versus so they do that.
Because sometimes I watch it, I'm thinking, is this person having a stroke while they're sign languaging or what?
All right, my computer's on the fritz, so I'm wrapping this up, guys. Love you, man. Jimmy, feel better. Hopefully you're not too sick. We'll see you hopefully next week. I'm Dave Palumbo with John Romano and Lee Priest for another installment of Iron